of keeping people engaged. And I actually checked with a good friend Kevin Clintworth in the athletic department this morning. He said, Robert, we're still selling football tickets, which not at the pace we normally would, but considering what's going on, the fact people are still buying tickets and is a good thing. And that was kind of my goal. And Coach Gundy agreed. And we've had coaches on all week, and we've got you and Coach McIndoe on here on this Friday. And what I wanted to get to is technology is a great thing because you rewind us back 15, 20 years, and you guys as coaches couldn't get nearly as much accomplished at home, but you can do a lot of things with Exos and with Zoom, meeting as a staff. There's a lot of things now that allow you to get things done.
Yeah, it's amazing technology now, and basically you can take whatever film, video, stuff that you would normally have in the office and put it on a laptop and do it at home. So we've been able to get a lot done and still communicate with our players, and still going to start doing some meetings with the players next week and watching film, cut-ups, breakdowns on opponents. So yeah, it's amazing the technology, and I'm glad we have it because I spend most of my day doing that, and if we didn't have that, I'm not sure what I'd do.
Yeah, quarterback is such a personal position to coach because it, you know, with wide receivers, you're going to have, three, four, maybe even five guys on the field at the same time, and a big room, and same thing. Offensive line, Coach Dickey, he's probably got the biggest room on the team, and Joe
Yes.
Bob and Greg on the defensive side, with defensive linemen have the second biggest. Your life as a coach is, I mean, you have multiple guys in there, but it's such a one-on-one thing, isn't it, Coach?
It is, obviously in the spring and the off season with the five guys in the room, you're really trying to do the best you can to improve each of those guys individually. But like I say, I got five, where most guys have way more than that. Like I say, Coach Dickey's probably got upwards of 20, 18 to 20. So it is a smaller room, and you can do some more one-on-one stuff with guys because, you can split that up during the week and spend some individual time to really try to develop each guy individually. But it is a little different than other positions.
Yeah, I think Spencer, I think, is on his third offensive coordinator, and then just Shane Illingworth, who came in in
Mm-hmm.
January in mid-year. Technically, he's on his second. He was recruited by Coach Gleason before he left. I remember when Shane was here last summer and following his high school senior season at Norco in the fall. And so those guys had a really tight relationship with all those guys they work with. And now I always think that the biggest challenge for somebody in your position is to make them your own. How far along are you with making them your own?
Well, that's the challenge. I mean, whenever there's a coaching change, and I went through it as a player, and done it a couple times as a coach. You got to go in there and you got to try to build the relationships with those players as soon as possible. So, spent a lot of the time early on when I first got here, just really meeting with those guys and having individual meetings. Really nothing to do with football, but just trying to learn about them personally and where they come from and what their family's like and what makes them tick and all that kind of stuff. Because that's the challenge. And like I say, when you come in and you have a new coach and a player walks in the room and he's not sure how you coach. I'm not sure how they learn. So that's a lot of stuff that I have to kind of dive into. Like, do you learn this way? Do you learn this way? What's the best way for you to get the knowledge and make it stick? So that's a lot of the stuff I did early on, and it's been going good, and I really like our room and got a lot of great personalities. And, speaking with Spencer, it is hard when you have that many different coaches in 3 years. The positive is the offense hasn't changed. I've been in situations where the terminology changes, and now you're learning a whole new terminology in offense, and it's like learning a new language. So at least Spencer, the offense hasn't changed, the terminology hasn't changed. It's the guy that's coached him has changed. So, but he's been great so far, and I've enjoyed getting to know all those guys in the room.
Yeah, Coach Gundy has been. And before we get off the room, I want to mention the other guys too. I mean, Peyton Thompson, Tulsa Union
Mm-hmm.
kid. That his dad played at Oklahoma State, and I know his dad
Mm-hmm.
well. Sean Taylor from Fort Worth, and And
Yep.
again, he's one of the most popular guys on the team. Kids love Sean. He's a great kid. And then Brendan Costello from California. So there's two Californians, and those guys are a big part of this too.
Without a doubt. And, I told him early on there's too many first names with S's, so I had to get nicknames for him. So I call Shane, he's the rook. He's the rookie, and that makes it easier for me. And then Sean, I just call him ST, and Peyton is PT, and then Brennan is BG. So it's easier for me to spit out nicknames than their full names. So, but yeah, they've been awesome. They all been coachable. They've been excited to learn, excited to kind of be in the room and meet, and just when you have new coaches, the biggest thing is you can always get something new. It's the same offense, the same plays. Everybody has the same plays in America, but it's how you coach them. It's how I talk to them, how I explain the reads, how I explain where I want their eyes. So they've been great so far. I think they're eager to learn, and I'm excited to continue with those guys.
Yeah. Again, know your background, know where you played, and so forth. I know where Ruston, Louisiana is. Been there before. All those things, and you actually came out of junior college out west.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
I did.
And then, of course, yeah. Go ahead, explain that.
Yeah. I was, played high school football in Arizona. My dad's a high school football coach. Just retired a couple years ago, but did it for over 40 years. And but went to high school in Arizona. Wasn't recruited. Wasn't a really big guy or anything like that. So I didn't get recruited. So I went to junior college for a year out there to see if I could get a Division I scholarship, and it worked out, and ended up at Louisiana Tech.
Yeah, I hope we'll get to see your dad. I hope he'll come and visit, and would love to.
Oh, he'll
meet
be around.
him.
He'll be around.
Okay.
He'll be telling me what I'm doing wrong. You know what I mean? And why aren't we doing this? Why aren't we doing that? But no, he's great. I got a lot of great stories of my coaches at Tech. In the off season or during the season, he'd call them and be like, "Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this?" So my dad's an old coach at heart, and that's what he knows. That's what he loves. And but he'll definitely be around.
Well, and I've learned I'm a football junkie. Played, never coached. Got in the media business, and with a son that is the head coach out at NEO Junior College up in Miami, the only junior college in the state that plays football. And I've learned. I used to do that. Hey Zach, what are you doing this for? Why are you doing? Now I've learned, man. You got to back off, and so. But anyway,
I got a great story. Our first year at Louisiana Tech, 2013, we weren't very good, and we lost a lot of seniors, and so we were struggling. And he came in and watched the game, and I was coaching receivers at the time, and we lost a tough game at home, and we're going back to the house, and I'm not real happy we just lost. And he goes, your defensive line, they don't stunt or move or anything. Do you guys move your defensive line? I said, Dad, listen, I got enough problems with my guys right now. I can't do this right now, So, but that's him, and that he loves football, and he's awesome. And he's still a guy that I call all the time and ask for advice. And if I got something or something I'm struggling with coaching, or how to get something across, or a certain coverage or anything like that, I'll call him up. We talk ball all the time, so it's a really, really cool thing to have football kind of in your family.
Yeah, and that's all. We'll watch games together, and we're trying to one up each other on identifying coverages and stunts, and actually, my daughter, who's in law school, if you put her on a whiteboard, she'll pass. I mean, she's
really. That's awesome.
She's into it too, and I tell you, here's my claim to fame, Coach. When Zach was a kid, and I coached Little League with a couple of other dads, we had a pretty good group. I mean, they were kind of handpicked, and we went 36-0 over 3 years. Now, it helped that we had a future NFL running back in Reggie Smith that played at OU and played for the 49ers. Yeah, that was our running back, and I had a bunch of big old kids that had stickers on their helmets playing on the offensive line, but. Then here's the cool thing, and this wraps around to Louisiana Tech. Doug Meacham, who's now at TCU again, and some of the other coaches, and Doc Ivan, our team doctor, they all had kids football age, but the team in Stillwater played on Saturdays, and they played around the state, and the kids wanted to be at their dad's games. And
Mhm.
they came to me and said, "Will you coach a team from Stillwater that'll play in the Edmond League on Thursday night so our kids can be at the games on Saturday?" And I said, "Sure." So I would stay late in Stillwater 3 nights a week for practice. And then,
Mhm.
they played down here where I live in Edmond on Thursday nights. And one of the kids we got outside the coaching family was a kid named J.D. Head, who lived here
Okay.
and actually lived in Jones at the time,
Mhm.
and he could wing it. So
Mhm.
I've got 9 and 10 year olds, and we're playing no huddle spread on offense. And the first game, I went to the official. I said, "Hey, if you could get the ball down as soon as possible, we don't huddle." Well, I mean, it's a college kid that's official. He goes, "Okay, Vince Lombardi, we'll do our best for you." Okay. Well, at
uh,
halftime, it's 42-0. He comes over and he goes, "I'm sorry, I've never seen a group of kids do that." And I said, "Well, the quarterback allows us to." And I said, "By the way, don't worry about it the second half. We're going to run every play. We're not going to,
yeah.
we're going to shut it down." But anyway, JD went ahead and played in high school. All those kids that I have are now college age. JD
Mhm.
played at Jones. Then he moved down to Pearland, Texas, and
Mhm.
he came to OSU camps. And I know Mike and Mike Yursich, and then later Sean Gleason. They all looked at him, and he just wasn't a fit at Oklahoma State. He's the freshman quarterback in the recruiting class at Louisiana Tech, and I couldn't be
Yeah.
happier. Great kid,
Yeah.
and I'm rooting for. Hey, I'm with you. Your alma mater is one of my favorite teams right now.
Well, yeah, I remember spring before I left to go to the Redskins. I was down. I had watched JD on tape and liked him, and went down to Pearland and talked with his coach and saw him at school and really liked him. And probably going to offer him, but then I left to go to the Redskins, and then Todd Fitch, who was a quarterback coach there when I left, ended up offering him. I'm glad to see it work out because the little time I got to spend with JD, he seemed like a great kid and really think
Uh,
he's a good player.
Great kid, great family, and
Mm-hmm.
I would see him at Nike camps and go down there and he'd say, "Hey, you're my first coach, and you taught me everything I know." And I'm like, "JD, don't tell anybody that because it's not true." Okay, Bubba, you're not going to help yourself if you go around saying, "Yeah, that sportscaster at Oklahoma is my quarterback guru." I said that ain't going to work for you. So, but no, I'm wishing he has great success, and I think he will at Tech. Hey, while we're off the OSU topic, I got to ask you. I saw this morning, and I like Dak Prescott and everything, but they're talking about when this is all said and done, he's going to be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL, and that got me shaking my head with my coffee this morning, Coach. Wow.
Well, it's a situation where everyone knows this. If you don't have a quarterback really on any level, it's hard to compete, and it's just hard to find good, consistent players in the NFL. And we played Dak twice this year, and one thing I'll say about him, he suits up every Sunday. I mean, he's always out
Yeah.
there. He's always giving his team a chance to win. He doesn't turn the ball over. He makes great decisions. He doesn't get sacked a lot. He can make plays with his legs, and I was impressed the way he threw the ball this year. I mean, really. And we played him when I was at Tech. We played him in Mississippi State in college, and they weren't throwing the ball a bunch, but I wasn't sure about how well he could throw it. But man, he was. I mean, he was throwing the ball really well. He's tough, competitive. And just with the salary cap going up and up and up, the salaries of these guys are going to keep going up and up too. And I think when you identify one that you like and you have, I think you got to try to keep them. And the salaries, I know they're just getting out of control. It seems like, but the salary cap keeps going up, and you got to have a quarterback. So.
Tim Rattay, the Cowboys quarterbacks coach, and I had two people that I feel strongly about. Brandon Whedon vouched big for you, and I remember being at that pro day and that you had designed his throwing plan and had coached him up, and obviously he went from being, I think, projected second, early third round. He ended up being a first round pick. So I hope he paid you a nice bonus on that one, Coach. Um,
Well, the thing with Brandon, it wouldn't have mattered who helped him get ready for the draft. He was going to go in the first round. I mean, he is as gifted as a passer as I've been around. And like you said, I remember watching that pro day, and I don't think the ball was not only touched the ground, but was not in the right pad, right front pad. I mean, leading guys and on time. And I remember that was my first pro day that I kind of worked, and I made the mistake of I didn't really get. I left it going. I didn't get the guys rest. We just were going rapid fire, like we were going, and like toward the end, Brandon was getting tired. He was sweating, and I'm like, oh man, Brandon, you need a break, right? And so I finally took a break about 3/4 the way in, and I felt bad. I said I should have slowed this down, but he was in a rhythm and he was rolling, and like I said, he's as gifted as a passer I've seen. It was fun to watch him on that day slinging around and enjoyed the little time I spent with him.
Yeah, grew up down the street, and again, he and my son are good friends, and so I've known Brandon a long time. The other guy, and I don't think you can give a coach a better compliment, is Mike Gundy. And when I was just talking to him, this wasn't really media, it wasn't on the record, and I said, Mike, how'd you make this decision? And he goes, Robert, I'm just telling you, Tim Rattay is the best fit for us, by far the best fit. I mean, I don't know that you can say anything, better than that in as regards to a hire for a very important coaching position.
Well, I've said it a bunch. I'm excited to be here. I think it's a great place. The little time I've been here, you can just tell right away when you get on the campus, you get around town. It's a special place. It really is. And just the players make it special. The players want to come work every day. They're excited to meet, whether it's conditioning 6 a.m. running stadiums or in the weight room or in the meeting rooms. I mean, it's a great culture that Coach Gundy and the coaches that have been here have set, and Coach Glass. And that's what makes it special to be here. You want to be at a place where the players are excited, want to compete, want to get better, and that's why I'm so excited to be here. I'm excited. I can't wait to get rolling again.
Last thing, Oklahoma State. I really do believe the everybody uses family, but I do believe at Oklahoma State it is a big family. And speaking of, I mean, I don't know where you are, status of moving your family and whatever, but tell folks a little bit about the rest of the Rattay family.
Well, I'm currently staring at a bunch of boxes and movers. We're in Virginia, and we just spent the last 3 days moving. So we're going to head out tonight and start heading down to Oklahoma and move in there. So just finishing up there. I got 3 daughters. I got a daughter in 9th grade, Riley, a daughter in 6th grade, Taylor, and a daughter in 4th grade, Sloan. So they're excited, a little nervous and excited, obviously, with the move, but I think once they get there, they're going to love it. So yeah, we're in the process of packing things up here and moving, getting the whole family down to Stillwater. So I can't wait till that happens.
Yeah, and there's no doubt. I mean, for your daughters, I mean, we've got Coach McAdoo's coming up after the top of the hour. You talk about a family that is, I mean, fit into Stillwater, and I think every type of kid fits there. It's a great place to grow up. So I think your daughters will be right at home once they get in, and once we get past what we're going through now, and everybody can get back to a sense of normalcy. But Coach, I appreciate your time, especially with you moving and everything. Be very careful, very safe heading across the country, and I know look forward to getting you back into Stillwater and getting back where we can do football things together.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, Coach, thanks. Coach Tim Rattay, the Cowboys' new quarterbacks coach, and golly, that's going through what we're going through now. Coach Rattay is really the one new coach, and this isn't easy for the existing coaches. He's trying. I mean, when he just said, "Hey, we're about to head out," and I'm thinking, wow, this is a tough time to be heading across our country, and I know they'll be safe and they'll take care, and hotels and gas stations and all that are essential businesses. They're open. It's not like you're going to run out of gas on the highway. Those are open, but wish him the best coming across country, moving from Virginia to into Oklahoma, into Stillwater with his family.